You could have just said no. Salmon steak. I try not to be scared of what I don't know. Hello vlog. It's been a really long time. Like since the day we came home from Donner, which was a week ago now. Almost a week ago?
Yeah. A week ago tomorrow.
We've been home.
Is the garage open enough for them?
Yeah. We've been home for 6 days and I did not vlog anything because I feel like I'm dying. Just being a little dramatic, but oh, my butt hurts so much. And there was a few really rough days there because I was in denial that things were getting worse. And then, what?
Nothing.
Oh. I was in denial that things were getting worse, and then they continued to get worse. And then I was like, no! So my walking it hasn't gotten that much worse since we got home, but I was in denial that it was happening while we were there. So the weird, like my legs just giving out, or partially giving out, because they do just give out sometimes, and then I'm on the ground. But when they partially give out when I walk, it's like somebody kicked my knee from behind, so it's like bending and bending every time when I step on it. That doesn't make any sense. But that started happening more regularly, and then both my arms feel like they weigh 1,000 pounds. And yes, I am wearing a jacket in the middle of the summer.
I was gonna say that it's 100 degrees outside.
I'm cold. She doesn't let me wear jackets all the time.
See this face?
Well, I don't have any other updates other than we went to her classroom one day and I helped her kind of set up her library.
Oh yeah, that helped a lot.
So now we are. Oh my gosh! And yesterday we picked up yesterday she got my medical records mailed to the Mayo Clinic in Arizona. So
I'll call them when we get back.
They should get that in the mail today, and we're headed to the dentist. And I hate going to the dentist. It's been a year and a half since I went to the dentist because I hate it so much. But then she went yesterday, and then somebody called and canceled when she was checking out, so magically I have an appointment today. You could have just said no.
No, they have a record. They asked me. It wasn't like I said, excuse me, Ellen hasn't been. They said to me.
Yeah, I know, and they've been saying that for a year. And I got out of getting my teeth cleaned in January when I ended up in the hospital. And she was like, geez, you'll just do anything to get out of getting your teeth cleaned, won't you? That's what she told me when we were headed to the 3-hour drive to Stanford.
Yeah, because you might have had a little aneurysm.
Lady Jean! We're going home. And oh my gosh, so bright. My teeth look great.
Great. So I've been brushing well.
Even that one where I chew with those two teeth together.
We'll call that one Chippy.
Yeah, Chippy is even doing fine because they said that unless large chunks of tooth start falling off, then there isn't really anything that you can do about it, because if you just put a little filling right there, it'll pop off later today.
And they would have to
drill my tooth
out.
Drill the front of my tooth. No thanks, we're good. But I do have 2 wisdom teeth coming in. So we have a referral to go get those things removed. They're not causing a problem now, well, other than the fact that like a month ago when I was whining about my ears hurting all the time and they were like, there's nothing wrong with your ears.
Yeah.
That might have been that.
Yep.
And they said you should get them out before they get infected like your brothers. So, and I only have 2. I only have the bottom ones. she only has the top ones. Nolan and my dad both have 4, so I say we split a pair. Unless I get top ones magically one day. Because that can happen, can't it?
Yeah, they can be way up there and then finally come down.
So for now, me and my bunny teeth. Bunny. Salmon steak. That's not funny unless you're in on the inside joke. But for us, it's hilarious.
I didn't cut it very straight.
Well, she's teaching me how to make microwave s'mores.
However, you need to cut it straight. Okay.
Well,
we'll have to eat these and get it out. Yeah.
Well, this is already boring me,
No,
so...
it's not. You just talk to them.
What am I supposed to say?
Say, you delicately open...
the graham crackers, and then you don't break them correctly.
Otherwise, you have to eat them
so
separate.
Then you have to eat them,
and then
you get chocolate, then you put on a mallow.
So you put 2 or 3 little tiny squares. I usually use an Easter bunny.
A what?
You know the Easter bunnies? Then you tear these in half and you stick them on. You following me?
She's teaching me how to do this because I've never had a microwave s'more.
And then I think we're just gonna do a minute, and we're just gonna watch
minute.
it. We won't do it a full minute, but my fingers.
Your marshmallows are
Watch
going
the
to
marshmallows.
burn.
When they get big, when they get puffy, without going over the edges, they're done.
Wait, I can't see. You're gonna be my eyes.
Like now. Well, that one's puffy. I say it's good. See? Then?
And then you squish the other one on top, and end of story. Well, that was interesting, or not. Hello. It's been, I don't know, a few days again. I just haven't been in the mood for talking lately, but suddenly tonight I'm like, I should update you on all the things. I think the other day I took you with us to the dentist or something. Or maybe I didn't. Well, I don't really remember what the last thing was that I took you to or that I talked to you about, so some of this may be repetitive. And I'm chewing gum, so no distractions here. We got home from Donner and I was a hot mess. Like capital HOTMESS. It was just bad. And I think it was that, well, I know it was. I was in denial while we were in Donner that things were getting worse. I'm just putting the warning out there. There will probably be crying in this video because I've been crying pretty much all the time nowadays. So the day after we got home, that was Sunday. I think it was Sunday. I was just kind of like whiny and mopey, and I slept in until like 2. So that day really there wasn't much of a day. I was just kind of whiny and not feeling so great. Well, Monday came around and I freaked out. Oh my gosh, I'm tired and I don't even know why I'm still crying because it's been almost a week since I freaked out on Monday, but tired and I'm still scared about all the things that are happening to my body because I don't really understand what's happening. But it's not like I can change what's happening, so I freaked out and decided to pull everything out of my drawers in my room. So I haven't put anything back. Well, I did clean up most of the pen drawer and put it back in, other than all that. But all the clothing comes from these drawers and that. And then there's more in my closet. And over there in the other corner, because I just don't want to deal with it. Oh my gosh. And then there's a lot of symptom updates to update on. But I'll start with on Thursday, I think. So that was yesterday. Fast forward. So Tuesday I didn't do really much of anything. Wednesday I felt like a piece of poo, so I didn't do anything either. And then, oh well, actually, I have been going to Zeus's classroom at night to help her set up, which by that I mean I've been putting stickers on books, which is kind of helpful in that I have to use both of my hands to do that, kind of. So my right arm, it still isn't functioning very well, and I can't feel much of anything, so I'm still wearing the brace on it. This helps in two aspects. It squeezes my arm, so there is some input being put in there, so I do have some sensation in my arm of like it is still attached and it is still there, because I really can't feel much. Like stabbing it with a knife or touching it with a feather would probably feel the same, because like a month ago I bit my arm so hard that they thought I crushed the bones in my arm, but I didn't. It was just I definitely crushed a bunch of the internal tissues, so it's still bruised, but I didn't feel it. That's why I just kept biting and nothing happened. So, and then it also keeps my right hand likes to be held like this all the time, and it holds it from, like, I can make it in that position, but it kind of pushes against it, I guess. And then all the symptom updates. I don't know, like things just aren't going well. So the part that I was like in denial about is my walking has gotten worse. And when we were a daughter, I was having problems with my one knee every time, not every step I take, but my knees were giving out before we left. And like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. It wasn't happening all the time. Well, now there are periods of time where every step I take, my knees give out. And it's like a ghost like kicks my knee from behind, and then my body tries to fight it, so it only bends partially, but it's like I'm falling, but my muscles are keeping me up still, so I don't know. And then my back has been hurting a lot, and it's weird. I have pain at the very, very, very top, so like you can't see what I'm trying to do, but like, okay, basically just the very, very center, about like this long of my back, does not hurt. The top all the way to the bottom of where the collar touches to like here, but on my back, it hurts, because it just does. And then my lower back, I don't even know why that hurts, because on that all the imaging looks completely fine, but it hurts. And when I wake up, the backs of my legs and the bottom of my feet are completely numb. They feel similar to when a limb is asleep. So if you sit on your leg and then it falls asleep, that's what it feels like on the backs of my legs and the bottom of my feet. And you know how when you sit on your leg and it falls asleep, when you walk, it hurts a lot, or at least for me it does? Well, that's how it feels for hours every morning. So I don't really like to get up in the morning. And I've been fixated on my belly button again. I think it was a year and a half ago, something like that, where I had picked my belly button so much that it was infected, so then we had to put Neosporin in it and put a band-aid over it, and it got worse because I kept picking at it. So I ended up wearing one-piece outfits for a really long time so that I would quit picking at it. Well, I'm probably gonna have to do that again soon, because I've picked at it a lot. It isn't visibly see. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but let me tell you, it smells really bad. And we put Neosporin in it again last night, and that made me want to pick at it more. So there's now like all the area around it, for about the size of like a CD, around my belly button hurts and is itchy. So I think that the inside of my belly button is probably a tad bit infected. And yes. Did I even tell you about the dentist appointment? Well, it went well. I did not bite anybody, and I did not come close to biting anybody, because we've been brushing my teeth now with the electric toothbrush, which has desensitized me to the polisher. So my teeth are good. I didn't have any cavities, which is a surprise because I have well, I was not able to brush my teeth for a while before Zeus even started brushing my teeth, and then some days she forgets. Like I don't think they were brushed today, but I really didn't get out of bed today. Like, I pretty much laid on my bed the entire day, just like this, because I'm tired and my butt is hurting. More about the legs and my walking. My hips have been sliding around a lot in all the directions. So, and yeah, they slide around. Like, what did I say? The other day I said that it feels like a knife through hot butter. That's about how much resistance there is to my hips just sliding around all over the place. Well, majority of the time that does not bother me, because it just doesn't. Because they either will slide back in on their own, or with minimal assistance from me, they will pop right back in and I'm good to go again. Well, they've been sliding out a lot further and getting stuck, so all the muscles in my butt and my hips all have been spasming and hurting, and it's just not fun. And it feels like every time I move, I don't think that door's creaky, but it feels like my body is like every time I move. So I don't like to move much, and I haven't been doing much, and I'm tired. And guys, we got my records and we sent that, and they were received by the Mayo Clinic earlier this week. I'm scared because I don't know. I just have a lot of emotions and thoughts in my head, and I don't really want to think them or deal with them or process them. But some things like have to be said and have to be dealt with. I'm scared because right now we're not doing anything about most of this stuff that's happening. And so things are just getting worse, and I think the part that makes me frustrated is that I've already been told that a lot of the things aren't going to get better until we do something about my neck. But we're not going to do anything about my neck until there is permanent damage to my spinal cord, which at that point there is no saying how much function I will get back that I have lost from all the things. I get it though, because we can't just jump into anything, because who's to say that my body's even going to accept the whatever they're doing during the surgery, and is it going to freak out? And starting surgeries like that will just lead to a lot more, they call it the domino effect of surgeries. And I get it, and I know that I'm never going to not be in pain, which that's also kind of hard to think about. But I mean, It's not like I ever have been not in pain, at least. Not in pain at all. We started me on a pain regimen around the time I was like 8, I think. So it's been 12 years now of this. And before that, I had my first hip problem where I tripped during PE and I felt it snap out, snap back in, but I didn't really know what to call that, and it hurt, so I just screamed for like 2 hours in 1st grade when that happened. I still never even said the point of why I started talking about going to the dentist. My wisdom teeth are coming in. They are not breaking through the skin yet, but they are there, so we are going to get a consultation to have them removed on Thursday of next week. And I'm already full well expecting them to be like, yeah, no, we can't do that because of my neck, and because they have to move your head around, and my jaw, if they do it, my biggest concern is them dislocating my jaw, because that is a possibility to have happen when they are. Did you just hear that? I heard that. It could have just been because it was in my own head, literally, but my jaw wasn't in place right now, it cracked in. They have to open your mouth pretty wide to pull out the teeth that are way back there, so I don't know. Fingers crossed things go okay with that. Well, it's just a consultation on Thursday, and then we'll schedule if they decide to do it. Although with my neck and all the other things, they probably won't want to do it, so then we'll have to find somebody else to do it. I try not to be scared of what I don't know, but it's hard to not be scared, or I guess it's like, why am I afraid of something that it's just a big question mark, but it's because what that question mark represents. And then I'm also just, I've been struggling in the head lately for the past like 3 weeks, because we've been talking about it's back to school season again, and we've been talking about signing me up for online classes. Signing up for online classes is kind of not my biggest worry at this point, but I'm also just, I've been just sad about the fact that we're coming up on 1 year from when I was last pulled out of school, and the whole reason of doing that was, or the whole intention of pulling me out of school was so that I could, my body could heal up more, which, I mean, I've been out for 2 years now, so, and that's always our thing, is that we're gonna let my body heal up and then I'll go back, but I'm worse off from where I was then. That's kind of a scary thought, that things have gotten this much worse in 1 year. The stroke thing, like, all the symptoms they thought me having the stroke were, at least from what I could tell, they were coming from my neck / spine the whole time, because it was that I was falling a lot, and that my right side was really tingly and numb and weird, which I'm not wearing my shoes right now, so I'm not even wearing my leg brace, but my walking's getting worse. I can walk still, but it's not very good, and it hurts a lot. Every step does. So I don't walk much, and it's a much different place than where we were at last year. Around this time I was walking pretty good last year, and I wasn't worried about it, and I wasn't worried about falling on my face all the time like I am now. And I get more confused than I was even back then, and I don't know, I'm just sad about the whole fact that I'm in a worse place now. I'm back again in the middle of the night in my room. I have just been leaving you guys behind because I have just not been in a great headspace these days. I don't know, I'm just so tired of everything and all the pain and the, you know, thisness of my body is just not going well. It's like excruciating pain for multiple hours every morning just from waking up. And I know that it's probably because I have the biggest gap in my pain meds and things is when I'm asleep. So I just took it. I'm supposed to take it at 9, but I held it off until 11 tonight, and then the next one's at 6 in the morning, and then after that it's 6 and then 4, nope, 6 and then 11 and then 4, and then it's supposed to be 9, but I did it at 11 today. Anyways, I've been gone for like 2 days because I had a major pain meltdown and just being tired of living in my bod of it doesn't like to work with me-ness. And this shirt, it's probably the last night I get to wear this shirt. Our washing machine eats my clothes, I think, is what I've come to the conclusion. Because I get giant holes like this all the time from our washing machine. But it's not like this shirt was very new to begin with because it already had holes on this side. Yeah, so yesterday was a major pain meltdown. Can you see it? I gave myself a kind of big knot on the forehead. We all know what that's from. And then this morning I was headed towards another pain meltdown, but we aborted pain meltdown with pain meds. So that happened today. And then yesterday, I'll put it in the picture like here, I put it on my Instagram and it was disgusting. I had Neocate come in and the Neocate has to get shipped to our home care company, and we think that's when the Neocate got exposed to high heat or something, because it's gross and chunky and it looks like spoiled milk, how milk gets all curdly and gross like cottage cheese when it goes bad from being too hot or whateverness. Zeus called the home care company today, because today is Monday, or yesterday, whatever. Monday. She called on Monday, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll just replace it. We don't know why that happened. So the guy comes and he's like, I brought it straight from our office to your house. It shouldn't be all curdly and weird. I pour it into my bowl / cup. I use a giant mug as a bowl, but I was pouring it in and gloop, gloop, gloop. It's chunky again. So I think it's just from being shipped in the summer because it's hot. So we're gonna have to call them back again tomorrow. We don't need to worry about it though, because I have extra Neocate from a few months ago. Well, basically, before we started getting it through home care, I think that I made a video about that a long time ago. We were buying it through Amazon, which is very expensive. And it went on sale right before we started going to the home care company. So we bought like 6 cases of it because it was only $100 a case instead of almost $200. And I go through more than a case a week. So it's very, very expensive to get it that way. We got it, a whole bunch of it, and we've never, actually we only had one time where it was a problem where things got all curdly and gross, and again, it was last summer. So I think it's just because it's being shipped in the heat. Anyways, I don't know how much I updated you on the other day when I was just a crying hot mess. But my walking has gotten worse, I'd say. It's not that, well, it's gotten worse and it hasn't gotten worse at the same time. My walking, I'm walking less, obviously, since we've gotten home. because of the terrible morning pain when I wake up. And it's like this terrible, excruciating pain when I wake up in my legs. They feel like they're asleep. You know how when you sit on your leg and then it falls asleep and it feels all buzzy and tingly and weird? Well, that's how it feels. But then when I try to walk, it's just excruciating pain up my legs, and I feel like I'm gonna fall apart. Like my knees feel like a creaky door, my back feels like it's breaking, and then after that's over, I don't want to walk very much, even though I'm pushing myself to walk around our house, even though I'm not walking much, because I don't want to fall, because my back hurts so much that I don't even think I'd be able to get myself back up off the floor. Like if I hit the floor that hard as I normally do, I would not be able to get back up. So, that's where my walking is. My arms, they're just how they are. This arm, I still have some major movements of it, but my hand, can't write with it, can't do anything like opening packages or anything with it. It's a very big struggle. I can still tie my shoes kind of, because I use my pinky as a hook, and do all the rest of it with my left hand. We haven't done an update on my raising of my arms, although I don't know, I haven't really tested it out either, so I guess we'll do it together. Again, this is like the middle of the night. I think it's 11:30 or 12. Ugh. On my knees on the floor. Oh, it's 11:30. But I feel more like a human at this hour of the day than I do at 11:30 in the morning, because I feel like my body's falling apart. And I still haven't cleaned up the laundry mountain and pen situation on my floor, because that's a lot of bending, and Ellen's knees are not in for that right now, okay? So, actually I did test it after my bath today, and it's a little bit lower than it was before, but I don't know. Ow! So, yeah, it's about halfway up, and I don't even know why it's doing that, and I assumed that it was going to get worse, because when I had the appointment with the neurosurgeon in January is when we first noticed that there was a problem with my arm, because they had me raise up my arms and it didn't work out so well for me. And I almost started crying during that part of the appointment, because that was the first time that there was something that I didn't know was happening. And ever since then, I really try not to raise up my arms during the daytime when I am fully aware, because it's just sad and it's hard to deal with all the, you know, breaking of my body and then walking. I don't know, like my knees have been giving out more and more and more. I have never walked downhill. I should take you to Graham's or Sharon's house and walk down the driveway, because it's at a slant. Our driveway is at a slant, but it's such a low slant that you really can't even get momentum, like standing on something with wheels. Can't get it to slide down our driveway. Walking, my feet are really floppy still, which, I mean, who thought that was gonna get better? Not me. But the knees giving out, I probably will never catch that on camera, because it doesn't happen all the time, and you are up here not videoing my whole bod. But I'll show you what it looks like now. I don't think it looks all that much worse than it did before, but who knows. And I don't remember what day I filmed that walking video on, so I can't look back. Well, I guess I could if I went through the videos on whatever. Ready? Well, I only have about 4 or 5 feet in my room that I can walk anyways, so. I think it looks about the same as it did before. Oh, and school clothes shopping, which I'm going back to school, kind of. I'm gonna try to go online, which that's a whole nother rant for another day, because just, I don't know, I've been really sad about the whole situation, because coming up on at the end of this month will be 1 year since the whole stroke, which didn't end up being a stroke, which basically it was just the beginning of all this happening. We're coming up on 1 year since then, and we pulled me out of school with the intention of me going back and having had time for my body to heal and rest and everything. And we're coming up to the end of that year, and I'd say I'm in a worse off place, although in some ways we're in a better place because we know what's wrong with my bod. My neck is loose and craniocervical instability, but we don't know what's wrong with my legs and why my walking's so funky, because that was not affected at all with the brace. But that's why we're trying to get a second opinion about all this. But my mom and Nolan went school shopping, or school clothes shopping, and they got me a long sleeve blue shirt and these leggings. Not a loud pattern at all. Well, I guess I'll start tomorrow a new vlog, and I'll try to remember to take you with us places. I just haven't been feeling good, so I haven't been taking you places because I don't know, my butt is hurting, and most of the time I spend all my time in my lovely chair with the iPad and my phone and pretending that I am a turtle in my hidey hole. Well, bye. See you in the morning when I try to be a real person again.